Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look, Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do they thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
Hey, it's your girl Stephanie from The Hardy Wrestling Podcast, sending a special congratulations shout out to Derek and Wrestling IQ 101's 200th episode. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful to have you as an ally, as a fellow wrestling podcaster, and for all the help you've given me in terms of starting my show in the beginning last year and just being a really great friend and being very supportive. And I thank you for even having me on your show, and I'm just really grateful for everything you have contributed to the podcast for my show, and I'm just really happy to see you grow and to see how much more you're going to offer as a wrestling podcaster, and I'm really excited for your future. So shout out to Wrestling IQ 101. Please check them out. Check out Derek and check out Rap and Wrestle too. Congratulations.
Hey, what is going on? My boys from Wrestling IQ 101, Derek and Andrew. Wrestling brings everybody together, huh? That statement could not be more true than when a shot of Wrestling IQ 101 got together. Man, it's been a privilege to know you guys, and from the bottom of my heart, for Michael J. Putty, Mark Schwann, we just want to wish you guys a happy 200th episode. And hey, here's to 200 more.
Fun fact, it's Wrestling IQ 101 who gave the Rad Dad Radley Belmont, Papa Bear Wade Kruger, the stepdads, our very first in-depth interview way back in 2018.
And now they're about to hit 200 episodes.
I know, it's amazing.
It's a crazy milestone, so you're welcome.
Well, no. We're actually thanking them. Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
But all I'm saying is, without us, you guys will only be at 198.
Yo, Derek, is Joel, co-host of the Ring Fanatics podcast. I'm just here to say congratulations on episode 200 of your podcast. You're doing an amazing job and keep kicking ass, bro.
Hello, this is Miranda Morales with TheChairShot.com and LuchaCentral.com. I want to send over a big congratulations to the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast on hitting 200 episodes. That's a huge accomplishment, and I can't wait for you to hit 200 more.
This is Nick here, one half of the Ring Fanatics podcast here. Just wanted to shout out the guys over at the Wrestling IQ 101. They're about to get to the 200th episode, and I just want to say congratulations to Wrestling IQ 101 on that. 200 episodes is a big accomplishment. You guys provide one of the best wrestling content out there, and I'm glad to call you over friends. So congratulations again on reaching 200 episodes. Can't wait to listen to 200 more. Keep killing it, keep grinding, and can't wait to see what the future holds for the Wrestling IQ 101. Congrats again, guys.
Hey, what's up, Internet land? A little birdie just flew by, and he told me that Wrestling IQ 101 is celebrating 200 episodes. Can you believe that? That's crazy. 200 episodes. Well, my name is Jay Wise, and they're my good friends, so I just wanted to give a shout out to Wrestling IQ 101, 200 episodes. That's great, guys. Keep it up. See you soon.
Yo guys, what up? It's Rob and Chris from the BCP. We just wanted to wish Andrew and Derek a very happy and congratulations on 200 episodes. Wrestling IQ.
Big 200, I love it.
Yeah, you guys are old. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, it was an honor meeting you guys all the way back at Boardwalk Beatdown 2018. You're good at years, right? Is that right?
2018. We were table buddies with Summer Rae, so.
That's right, and you guys, I think, were over there with Victoria. But you guys, a lot of nice memories, and we just remember meeting you guys back then and following in your footsteps. Andrew, I have the 8x10 hanging over there. I still need the Derek 8x10, but just want to say congratulations, guys.
Awesome.
Just proud of you guys. Really just, laid out what's the word I'm looking for?
The groundwork.
The groundwork. Thank you. That's why you're here. For what we do as podcasters and really putting over the talent on the independent scene, and on behalf of them and ourselves, just thank you guys so much. And we do need a D-Flave 8x10 in here.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds good.
Sounds good. Guys, keep killing it. Congratulations on 200 episodes.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Wrestling IQ 101. You guys know me. My name is Derek. Today is a very special day. I am here alongside my boy, Pat.
Yo.
My boy, Andrew Pace, the other co-host of the show as well. Make sure you follow Wrestling IQ 101 on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get all your streaming. Make sure you're checking us out. You're supporting, doing all that good stuff. Like we said, today is a very special day. It's our 200th episode. We've been through a lot of struggles, ups and downs, but we're still here. We made it to this point. Me and Andrew are still going. Our boy Pat, he had to take a break away from the business, but his role in our podcast was just as important. But how are you guys doing? I'll start with you, Drew. How are you doing, man? And how are you feeling about the 200th episode of Wrestling IQ 101?
I'm doing well. I'm really excited. I put a lot of work into this to get here. A lot of work, a lot of traveling, a lot of weekends. So, hard work pays off, and here we are.
Yeah, facts. What about you, Pat? How are you feeling that? Did you ever think Wrestling IQ 101 was going to get to 200 episodes?
Man, that was always a dream. It feels good for me to get back in this hot seat with you guys, back in the, living back to the flashbacks here. So it's just feeling good, feeling real good right now.
Definitely. I always think about, all the amazing guests that we've had on the show. I've always been surprised at some of the guests that we were even able to get, just all of us just starting out and, just trying out. Shout out to Andrew. He booked a lot of dudes that that it was a surprise for us to get. So he definitely, I know he put a lot of work into.
Do we count as guests right now?
Are we guests? I don't know. I guess we're three guests right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. We're three.
I never thought.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, we're guests on our own show. So
it was it was hard really to put these pieces together, especially being so new. I mean, I had a couple of friends that were wrestling, but I didn't think it would lead us to, so many things like Monster Mac letting, Pat and I talk to Matt Riddle and Keith Lee, right? Or Pat getting us into, the baseball field and giving it, helping us get Mick Foley on or Scott Steiner, right? Or even, it's just things that, I didn't think that were achievable, but there I was one time just sitting with Al Snow and just talking to him, and I'm like, this might be a real possibility of something down the road. Or sitting with Sonny Ono and just being like, they're seeing, we're on equal footing for just a brief moment. He's a famous manager. I'm a podcaster, but for some brief moment we're talking and we're like, this might be something that we might be able to do. So yeah, I mean, it is. And plus, I don't know if you guys remembered, but I remember one time we booked Mr. Hughes.
Yeah.
And we ran together to get this thing done. And he didn't call. He showed us, and we waited and we waited. And then,
a lot of people didn't call.
Yeah,
A lot of people
and then a year and a half later, he's asking us to come on, right?
Yeah.
So, it's weird, for some, and it's weird, right? So it's small world. It comes back around sometimes.
Yeah, no, definitely. For you guys, I guess I'll start with Pat on this one. What would you say is probably your favorite episode or favorite person that you've gotten to talk to throughout all of this?
Oh man, it's so funny because there's so many different people with unique personalities that we spoke to. There's so many people with incredible stories. Like, at the beginning, we had people with bigger names, like, Bowens was a big name person at the start. We had Mike Orlando at the start. That was a bigger name. And then, we had all these bigger Indian names. And then yet Nick Destiny was the person that had like 3 matches under his belt, but he had the most hits because his story was just so incredible. And so he was just a really cool person to talk to. He's a great storyteller. So he was definitely one person that I thought was a really cool person to talk to. But a lot of these guys were just cool people. I mean, you guys know Mac was just a great guy to just hang out with. Like, we hung out with him a bunch of times. He hooked us up so many freaking times, got us all these interviews, like in the buildings, and getting to know some of these other people. So like, I just think it's tough. If I had to pick one, I don't even know.
Tough ones.
I know, right? I don't know. You can circle back around to me while I think about this.
What about you, Drew? What would you say is your favorite interview? If you could pick one, what would you say?
I don't know if I have a favorite one. Maybe the next one. So
the next one, I like that. That's a good answer.
You know what I like? A lot of times, what I would listen to more than I listened to the actual episodes would be the intros. When we recorded the intros, and we didn't start doing that until like a little bit down the road. And I love listening to those things because they crack me up so much.
Always dope when we got people, you know what I mean, to say, hey, this is such and such, and you're listening to Wrestling IQ 101. That was always pretty dope. I don't know if I have any like favorite ones, but I mean, like, the one that always sticks out to me is always Al Snow. That's always the one that sticks out to me, because it was like, I feel like that was like the first one I was ever nervous to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why either. I was just like extremely nervous on that one. And it just turned out to be like an amazing interview. And he turned out to be such a good guy. I'm
gonna change mine real quick though. I like Al Snow. You got me thinking.
That was a good one. I'm telling you.
Virgil's my favorite one. I was really nervous for that one.
Virgil, of course. I was surprised you didn't say that.
Right. So,
that was a good one.
But my favorite thing about recording was, sometimes we could look at each other right next to you sit right next to me, Derek, or Pat sitting across from me, and somebody would just say something off colored, and the three of us would and they would be serious about it, and the three of us would just kind of look at each other like, oh man, I'm glad they're not here right now.
That was great.
Right. Always something like political or something really raunchy, and the three of us would just maybe just look at each other, or the two of us, and we're just like, man, like, I also respect your opinion, but you got me chuckling here a little bit. Or they would tell a story that made us laugh, and the three of us are just looking at each other like, oh man, like we gotta take a break here or something like that. So
but it's crazy, man, to even think of, like, dude, we've gotten so many people. Is like, we said, Al Snow, you guys got to talk to Mick Foley and Scott Steiner, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee. Like, I recently got to talk to Larry Zbyszko. Like, it's crazy, like a list of who's, and I feel like, we've been blessed to be like, say that we could talk to all these people that we've talked to, and it's like it's pretty amazing if you think about it. Just, you know what I mean, 3 guys who just decided, hey, let's just start a podcast overnight, and literally, like, we got to this point. I want to say we've been going like 5 years now. It's crazy. It's been like 5 years the show's been running. And like, we have a crazy amount of names on the show. It's like, it's really mind blowing. I still, to this day, it's like, it's crazy just when my friends are like, yo, you were talking to this person, or yo, I watched the show on YouTube the other day, or yo, I listened to it on Apple. It's still like surreal to me to like that people like enjoy the show and follow the show, and it's an amazing thing. I don't know. I would say I would ask, how do you guys feel like you look at wrestling different like since we started doing this, do you guys look at it with like a different mindset when you're watching it on TV or even being at an indie show?
Oh yeah, watching it on TV, absolutely. You know, I think since we were doing the podcast, and then if I'm watching WWE, I always watch it, I think, from that behind the scenes perspective, then opposed to just watching it as a straight up fan and then just thinking like, you know, why aren't they doing this or why aren't they doing that? Then when I'm watching it after the podcast, I'll look at it more of the way of the storytelling mode within the match, you know, and the leading up, move to move or within the match, just seeing like, you know, the difficulty of, you know, the performance of it. Like, you know, you talk about like botching something or whatever. It's like, all right, well, look at what this guy just did. Or like if someone like gets injured, like you look at like Shane McMahon going off of the freaking top of the cage and just be like, damn, this guy just got up. Like, how is he getting up right now? He's like 50 years old, you know? Because you hear about, you know, all these different stories that we've heard, and that's just kind of how I'll look at it, more of that behind the scenes perspective, and instead of just being a straight up fan. I'd still be a regular fan anyway, and I enjoy it just as much, but it's just that extra twist on it.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew? You feel you look at things differently now?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I see so many people like Magic, you know, when he's in the back and he's like mentoring other people or, you know, other people over the years, and you know, when they're putting things together, and you're like, wow, like that. I mean, maybe that does make sense there. You could see, you know, somebody like Santana, right? I mean, he was just taking lessons from Magic from the beginning, and you could see how he progressed to be part of the best tag teams in AEW. So yeah, you could see like these people here. I mean, sometimes even if they don't make it somewhere, they're still putting together these matches, and they're still, and that makes me look at things differently. Like, wow, like maybe they do know what they're saying and stuff like that. And I always thought that from the beginning, but yeah, but it's kind of crazy. And I always, you know, before I'd be like, oh man, like Pat was saying, like you messed up, and now I'm just like, yo, it's really, these guys are just as mad at themselves for messing up, or they know that when they have a bad match, when they come through the curtain, I mean, they know if they killed it. So I mean, they're in tune with everything they're doing, and it makes me wonder when they go back to the curtain, like, you know, when I'm watching it on TV, like, what are they thinking? If I enjoyed it, maybe they didn't. Something, you know. So it's weird. So I get to see the best of both worlds.
Yeah, no, definitely. The biggest thing for me that was kind of like mind blowing is like, you know, you always see on TV when they show like behind the scenes stuff, but it's like to actually be in a locker room or to actually be at a show before the show starts and you see guys get together, they're going over their match, they're going over what's going to happen and this and that. And it's so mind blowing just to see that other side. For me, I know the first time I saw it, it's just like, it's amazing. You're just like a kid, just like you get to see, you know what I mean? Like how the hot dog is made, how they say, you get to see like how everything goes down. And it's always so great. And, you know, just see everybody coming together and, you know, the hard work they put into it. And I was just talking to somebody about that today, and I'm just like, you know, we always talk about how he said like, oh, they messed up or they botched or something. But it's like, these guys are doing some hard things, man. And it's like, to be honest, they're doing these things live. They're acting live. They're putting on great performances live. They're being athletic live. And it's like, a lot of times they don't really botch that much. It's just when they do, we call it out all the time. Yeah. But it's like these guys really do such a great job. And it's so amazing just the things you see. And it makes me appreciate it a lot more, because a lot of these things, just even, I don't know if Andrew could attest to this, but it's like getting in the ring to like take a picture with somebody. Getting in the ring itself is very hard. It's not an easy thing to do. So it's like, just even that, it's like, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, the ropes they're not what you expect. The ropes are usually pretty tough. And, you know, you walk on the mat, I mean, it's wood, you know, and steel. And then there's like a little piece of like carpet padding, like very little. and you're literally walking on wood. So yeah, it's like really, like when you land on it. I mean, I haven't, but when I stepped on it, you can only imagine how that would feel landing on it. So yeah, it is pretty tough getting into the ring. It is, unless you like slide under, and even that might be dangerous.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
You guys, I don't know how people like shake the ropes, like the warrior or something like that.
Yeah,
Because it's like you get whiplash, like.
Yeah, no, you could. There's a lot of things you could do. Like you could get hurt. People don't understand just the little things and like the precautions they take to, just be successful in the ring. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Drew? I'll start with you on this one. Since we started the podcast, from the first episode to where we're at right now, how do you feel that you've progressed as an analyst or a podcaster since that time?
I think I did pretty well. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty well. I mean, there's always more to learn, but yeah, I could. I felt like I caught on pretty easily because I was doing a lot more events by myself, and I was really I had nobody to teach me, so I just started to, I would look around and I'd put some of the stuff I put on like wrestling, things like locker room etiquette I heard over the years, and I would apply it. And if someone would talk to me, I would talk to them, or it made me more confident. I mean, that's, to go after, Access TV and WOW, it made me feel more confident in myself. And I went out and I feel, I mean, it's hard too, because sometimes the people I talk to, there's some language barrier. So like, I'm still not kind of used to that. But yeah, it made me more confident and made me more like, hey, this things that I thought were impossible in the past. Now I feel like more confident that I can do more.
Yeah, no, definitely. Talking about the Access event too, that was like crazy too as well. It's like we were doing the thing with Access. We were literally we had with WOW Women of Wrestling, and it's like we were talking to like wrestlers from the show, like literally every week. Like Andrew was just like, yo, we got this person. We literally talked to like the whole roster. It was like crazy. And it's like, that's what I say. Like, we're spoiled. It's like, what other podcast can like put that under their belt? Like, yo, like we were in talks with Access TV and Women of Wrestling, and like we literally talked to like almost their whole roster. Like that's pretty a wild achievement if you think about it.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. I mean, and I hope they come back, because I think there's more to do, and there's a lot of women on that roster and they keep adding people. I'm like, when are you coming back? So, I'm really excited. I mean, like, yeah, Mark Cuban owns that, and Janine Buss, she did it, and it was like, wow, like, I don't have any direct contact with them, but I'm like, they own this stuff. Like, they're putting this stuff together. And David McLean from Glow, and that was another thing. Like, the Glow girls were really awesome over the years. I may have, there's a couple of them that I still talk to, and even this is recent as last year. So it's just crazy. Like, it really like, it's really a crazy thing, because it's just you start out, just like we said, I knew a couple people, but I didn't know Bull Buchanan, right?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't know Del Wilkes. I tried to make educated guesses and really spread them out, because if you give so much, like when you shake a soda, right, it'll burst and then you have a little bit left. So I was always trying to just open the soda, pour a little bit, give a little bit, and just really position things, and it worked out. I think it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Pat, the time you were doing it, how, from the beginning, I feel like, listening to those first episodes, like, I was like, oh my God, we sounded so horrible.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think you progressed, as a podcaster as well during that time?
Yeah, I'll never forget that first episode we did. It was like right over here. That was still like the funniest thing. Andrew's intro is epic. He's just like, you are
listening to Wrestling IQ 101.
That is just
We
like
didn't have much of a budget.
Yeah, facts.
We don't even have one now.
Yeah.
That is like the funniest thing ever. Yeah, I'll never forget that. We talked about like
We talked for like
wrestling for
we talked
3
like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It
That
was
was
like,
just the funniest thing ever. That was great. That was so bad, but it was just, I guess that was just kind of like us hanging out though.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And but I think just as far as me and like my own skills and development, I would say as far as the interview aspect goes of it, it was pretty natural for me just because it's part of my job, you know, like you guys know, I worked in HR. So when I was doing interviews and that was just part of my everyday life. But the thing where Wrestling IQ really helped me out was a big part of what I did for this podcast was building relationships and helping us grow in that aspect of it, and branching us out when we started building those relationships. And you know, in my life outside of this, I didn't really do that. You know what I mean? I would be more hesitant to go approach random people that I don't know, or you know, whatever. And this is our enterprise, you know what I mean? So when we were at a show, I would just kind of go up to people and give out these the wristbands and just be like, yo, go out here and you need to check out Wrestling IQ. You need to like and subscribe. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I would just hype it up as much as I possibly can. And that was like literally the exact opposite of kind of who I was in my personal life. But because we did this business, it really like pushed me because I wanted us to be successful. And you know, like I said, just because of my part that I played in Wrestling IQ, it really helped me grow with myself personally and in my own development. So it was cool.
Yeah, it does. It gives you a sense of confidence, gives you a sense of,
you
know, I want this to be well and well received, and you try not to mess that stuff up because, you know, when, you know, and I remember I was, you know, I mean, it's always good to be a little hesitant and think about things and just not be rush into things. And you know, and that's what I've always done, but being more confident has always been, it's been pretty good. I mean, you know, it gives you life skills outside of the podcast.
Yeah, facts, definitely. Yeah, for me, I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I feel like I'm randomly talk to people anyway, but you know, it helps with being more confident. Like when you just you know, starting conversations with, you know, just random people you see when you're at a show, or if you want someone to be a guest or anything like that. I get it helps with being able to articulate better as well, because you think about, you know, the things, you know, you say. It helps you with researching, because, you know, you take the time to actually get to know a person. It's like that's a big deal. I feel like a lot of podcasts that are out there, like, I feel like a lot of guys don't really take the time to actually research the people that they talk to, and they just, you know, tell the random questions that we always hear on every show. And I've always took pride in our show. Like, we always ask like the most random questions to people. Like, it wasn't just always wrestling.
Yeah.
It was always something fun. And people would always say like, yo, you guys made that fun. You didn't make it just about wrestling. You know, you asked me questions. You actually did research about me. And they appreciate that. It's like, you don't think like these guys appreciate that, or these girls, but they really appreciate stuff like that. So, you know, I feel like I've become better in those aspects. I feel more comfortable with talking to people, interviewing people. And, you know, there's still, of course, like, you know, Andrew said, there's still things to work on for myself, that, you know, personal things I want to get right with the, you know, my aspect of the show. But, you know, I think we've come a long way, and I think we've done good.
But with that, what you were talking about, that reputation where, like, you know, people know we did our research, we make it fun, we make it casual.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, good conversation, instead of like, all right, we're gonna ask you all these same questions, we're just gonna drill through it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that helped us, because a lot of these interviews we did were in person, and that makes a lot of things better. It makes the sound quality better. You know, we do the photo, we do a lot of different things, and it just makes it a whole better experience overall for the listener, for us, for the person, and just having a strong reputation and a rapport with the company. And you know, you do one with someone from WrestlePro, they'll tell, you know, someone else, and then pass it on and pass it on. And so they'll come through and they'll just be like, oh, this guy's cool, you can come through, and it's cool to do it, you know, in person with them. And just the word travels through, and that's kind of like how it worked out for us. But I think it makes a big difference when you go the extra mile, then people are willing to come in and sit down with you.
Yeah, they respect you.
Exactly.
They respect you because they show you like you respect the product, you respect the craft, you respect the time that they put in. You know, go ahead, Andrew.
Like the wrestlers would come over and they're like, we just wanted to take the photo, or they just wanted to do the little at the beginning of the show. They didn't really want to talk to us. They just wanted to do the little things, you know, that we do at the end or we do before we start talking. And you know, that was always the fun part, or like when people would try to top themselves for like the longest episode, you know, it was like,
oh my God.
We'd have like a 3-hour interview. People were like in like, you know, DM me and be like, well, I was 58 seconds less than so-and-so. And I'm like, how do you know that? How do you know?
They're actually looking at it. That was crazy.
Like with the song, the little thing, and they're like, I'm still like 58 seconds short. And I'm like, it's just a minute. You're like neck and neck with our longest video. And I remember like sometimes we would just be sitting there like 3 hours later and we're like, I know you guys are still good, but we got work tomorrow.
Fact. It's like, dude, it's 11 o'clock. We're like, are we done yet?
I gotta take a shower. I gotta go to work. We gotta have some dinner.
Crazy. Yo, you know what? One thing we did that was always fun for me, when we went to the shows and we did the cosplays together.
Oh yeah.
What was you guys' favorite cosplays? I know me and Andrew did the Dudleys together. We've done New Day and we've done the Shield as well. What was your guys' favorite? Pat,
I could jump straight into this. This is so easy on two different levels. All right. So number one, I think our best one as a squad was the Shield. That's easy, not even close.
Facts.
The funnest one,
of course,
is New Day. It's not even freaking close. Like Andrew was just wilding out, right? When we got there, and nobody expected it. Like instantly, there's the whole line of people there at the Rock, and Andrew just walks up to the front door and starts doing
I was just like, oh my God, what is going on right now?
And then everybody started just doing the claps, and like we were all just going up and down that line, like doing all the New Day stuff, and everybody was so into it. And then that whole time we were doing
we had the bootio, the big bootio.
Oh my God. And we were getting the whole section going, the whole entire show. That was at Extreme Rules. So that was
pretty crazy.
Good, man.
That was a wild time. What about you, Drew? Is it the same as Pat?
I mean, they're all pretty tight. I think more of the things that I do, you know, where we start at the end of the line and I just start cutting through.
Oh my God, that's the worst thing ever. That's the worst thing ever.
You know, like in the middle, it's like the hot summer, and I'm just like, I'm not standing on this line, and I'm just like bulldozing through people. No one's saying anything. I don't care. So I want to get inside, and I want the people with me to be comfortable. So I think that, you know, the Dudley Boys are kind of like fun. You know, the guy behind us was, you know, he was like, you guys should be the Dudley Boys.
So dude, we're literally just as the Dudley Boys. Some guy behind us goes, yeah, you two should be the Dudley Boys.
Oh my God.
He's like,
what are you talking about, bro?
He started calling his cousin.
We are the Dudley Boys.
So like he calls his cousin, and I think the cousin just sent him to like voicemail. So and he's like, I'm like outside the, you know, Brooklyn. I'm with the Dudleys, and like the guy didn't even like call him back. But that was fun. It was fun seeing like Charlie Caruso when we were there.
That was a cool day. Yeah, always loved the Shield one. That was always a dope one, and I thought it was dope how we met the Shield girls.
That's what I was gonna say,
So it was
we
like
had
3 Shield girls, and we were the 3 Shield guys, and that was a pretty day. We were with John Lesnar, and yeah, the New Day one I think was great too, just because I say we always put thought into it. Like with the Shield, we had the vest and everything, and with the New Day, like we actually had matching outfits and the belts and stuff. Like these pictures can still be seen. I'm gonna see if I can find them and put them in this episode while we're talking. But I'm pretty it's just so great, like the thought we put into the outfits all the time, and always have fun with them and that. But the New Day one was like off the chain. It was just crazy. I always remember that.
That New Day one was that New Day one was so much fun. The Shield one, I think we nailed that though. And but did you guys ever wear that New Day gear? I mean that Shield gear ever again?
The Shield gear, I never
wore the pants.
You say you wore the pants?
I wore the pants. I wore the pants and
I did wear the pants, because they were just plain black pants.
I don't think I ever wore it again. I don't even know what the vest is.
I never wore the vest. No, just the
that vest was like $30 on eBay, man, for one day. For one day. Oh man,
I was like so methodical. I was like, remember, I went and I got like everybody the red pants. I had made sure everybody got the same shirt.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, if we're gonna do this, we got to be like really on point here. We got to be fleek AF. And
facts. We definitely had to do it right.
And being a neurotic person, it kept me up for a long time, for a couple of days. I'm like, where do I get these red pants for everybody?
Oh yeah, find the red pants. Find the red pants.
Or like, where do I get this vest in my size? And where do I get all this stuff? I remember Pat and I, running to like, the sporting goods store, like Wildman or something like that. But it was fun, it was fun.
Yeah, no, it was always fun.
Looking for the tag belts and looking for all these things that really made this made it look complete.
Yeah, facts. What would you say? I'll start with Andrew this time. What would you say is a favorite event that we've done, that we've been a part of, whether it was being a vendor or going to, interviewing, whatever? Favorite event that we've been a part of?
I think I have like 3 of them. I think
Which
Boardwalk Beatdown was probably hands down one of the best experience I ever had. It was just fun. I mean, the Shot of Wrestling guys really made it a blast. I mean, I had a really, it was really a fun time hanging out with you and rooming with you. And I didn't know, a few months later it'd be like a really devastating time for me, but it was really fantastic. And it was really, I was like a kid in the candy store that weekend. It was just fantastic. I would also say being part of Jersey All Pro all the times, when Pat and I went, or when I went by myself, being a part of something I grew up with was just amazing. And then, Mega Slam was a really cool one where I was hanging out with Ultimo Dragon and Sonny Ono and interviewing them. And, it was only for a few minutes, but it was like, never in my wildest mind or thoughts would I be like talking to, a Japanese icon, right? And he's done so many different things from WCW to WWE and everywhere in between. And I was like, wow, and plus there's a language barrier. So he doesn't speak English. I don't speak Japanese. So those kind of things, and there's some big moments I know. So those are probably my top 3, but I mean, every event has been special. I mean, I never thought I would have what I've had ever. So.
Yeah, facts. What about you, Pat?
I would say when we did Jersey All Pro, and when we got to, that day we hung out with Matt Riddle and Keith Lee were the headliners, but we talked to so many cool people that day, and just being there behind the scenes, we got to see the wrestlers putting together the matches. We saw when they were in the locker room, like hustling between matches and, rallying, like saying, all right, we got to do the rushing to get everything together. I just thought it was really cool to be there behind the scenes as they were really putting everything together, because that was probably the first time that I had a chance to be actually in the locker room for a full event. Then because before that, we would always be on the fan side talking to everybody. So that was a really cool experience, and we got to talk to like everybody that day. And then just this, I would say a second, but I think a distant second would be the big time wrestling when we were at the Blue Plus. We got to talk to a ton of people that day, Hall of Famers though, and we talked to Mick Foley, Scott Steiner, Coco Beware, and then there was a bunch of indie people too. We talked to Robbie E that day and Joey Janela, and there, we talked to a ton of people. We didn't even like really watch the matches. We sold some merch that day too. That was probably one of the first times we ever sold anything, which is like awesome.
Pretty dope.
So that was pretty exciting for us too. So
yeah, that's also, that would probably actually make that number 3, and then maybe SWF 4. So yeah, there's been so many like incredible things that like that you get to do, and it's just weird. I mean, I remember I went to like Mick Foley, and he was just like, no, right? He was like, yeah, and then I pretty much was like, but we're with the stadium, and then he's like, oh, okay.
It's like, all right, no problem, no problem.
I don't know who worked for the stadium. I was just like, yeah, we work for the stadium.
Boardwalk Beatdown was probably like my number one, man. That weekend was just like off the chain. It was like, Chad, he put together something that was like, so amazing. And it was like, he had freaking Goldberg, Sting, the Bullet Club there, all these other guys that were there as well. And it was just an amazing weekend. Like, we were just chilling the whole weekend. We got to freaking eat dinner with Virgil. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I had no, I mean, like hot dogs and hamburgers, but it was still dope. We got to sit with him and just chat it up like normal. He just left.
Remember? Yeah. He just like he just bounced. And then that was cool. It was cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had to pay, but it was dope, man. You know what I mean? It was like that always sticks in my heart too, because I had a very fun moment with Victoria as well, who's like one of my favorites that I've seen on TV as growing up. And to be able to just be in that space, it was amazing. Even at our table, we were with Soo Young, and we were with freaking, think about who was next to us, Andrew. We had Soo Young with us at our table, and we had freaking MJF and Shotzi Blackheart at the table next to us before they blew up, and now look at them right now. Yeah. So it's like we just had an amazing time. That weekend was nuts. The big time that we all went to in New York, where Pat got to meet his dad, Ken Shamrock. That was amazing. That was amazing too. That was a great show. I got to meet the Outsiders. So
that was cool that weekend.
We've been a part of a lot of stuff, man, and it's just like it's been dope, and it's still, like I say, crazy. And to think, like, what I mean, this weekend, me and Andrew are going to another event put together by Chad, Boardwalk Buds, with he's putting together wrestling and CBD and marijuana convention. It's like, Chad, we need to give credit to Chad. This guy doesn't stop thinking about innovating stuff. He's such a smart guy when it comes to stuff like that. And you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure this weekend will be another memorable weekend. And it's amazing, man, that like the things don't stop for us. Like, they just keep coming and coming and coming. And there's a lot of guys that we've seen that we know that have had podcasts, and it's like, you're just like, yo, where are these guys at? What are they doing? And it's like, we're still going. Like, we're still here. We're still lucky that people want to still come on our shows, and they respect us as podcasters. And it's like, I don't take none of that lightly at all, that people give us that respect, just like we give everybody respect as well.
Yeah. You always hear somebody out and hear what they want to say. And the best part is being a talent scout, because I get to look for people who from different parts of the world. They can come from Florida, Texas, and Alabama, and you're like, holy crap, like
Yeah.
you're a talented person, and and it's weird. Sometimes it's just finding a needle in the haystack sometimes and getting lucky. Like I never thought I'd be talking to one of the stars of Young Rock, right? So,
Yeah,
and
facts.
he's just in our backyard, and I'm like, holy shit, like this is the coolest thing. Like it's just weird.
Yeah, I can't believe like how big MJF became. Like I had a feel, I had a feeling he would get more popular because he's pretty big over here. But then like to see how big of a superstar he actually became is pretty crazy. And a lot of these people that we, have spoke with definitely got up to the next level. And it's you look at it and it's just eye-opening for sure. It's really exciting to see this for them.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's been a lot of guys that we talked to, and then they like boom, just made it to the next level. So I'm gonna say with good luck charms, and if you want to get signed to a major company, you should come on a Wrestling IQ 101. With good luck for everybody.
My favorite was Fala.
Follow by, yeah.
I remember you asked me, like, you trying to get on TV, and he's like, nah. And then like a week later, he's like, find
he's
out.
on Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, no.
Like what the hell? I was like, bro,
he's just in my house. He's just.
That's crazy. Think about that. That's crazy.
And like Dan Moff too, right? I mean, what? A year later, after coming with us, you signed with ROH and
Ring of Honor, yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean that's been like the coolest part. I mean, like I see somebody and I'm like, I remember just right before the pandemic. I mean, I was like at Don't Cross the Boss, and I was standing with Joe Gacy and Killer Cross.
Yeah,
and the three of us have nothing in common. They're Killer Cross is a bodybuilder. Joe Gacy's the wrestling maniac. We have nothing in common. We don't even look alike. We don't. But the one thing that tied us together was that we liked wrestling and growing up and playing with our action figures. And I was like, holy shit, I'm talking about my action figures and growing up with Killer Cross and Joe Gacy. Like, how weird is that? Like,
yeah, no, that's pretty crazy.
A few months later, Killer Cross is NXT champion. Joe Gacy gets signed, and I'm like, this is the weirdest.
And that's pretty nuts. And I remember we got to interview Killer Cross too before he signed with NXT, and he was telling like, what I mean, and he was in a good space and he was just positive about everything that was ahead. Yeah. And it's like, now look at this dude, the top of NXT. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. And I feel terrible because he's wrestling for WWE, but I mean, this pandemic really hurt. I wish there was an audience to really appreciate what he does and what everybody else is doing.
Facts. It's crazy stuff. So let's I'm not gonna keep us here all night. I'm not trying to break a record tonight for us. I'll tell you that right now. But we just want to show love, and we're here on the 200th episode. A big accomplishment, and it's the reunion. Pat's here with us. Who are some people that you guys want to shout out that have helped us out? I'm pretty sure we're going to have the same list of people. I'm pretty sure that list has been cut down as well, but that's another story. But anyway, people that you want to just shout out that have helped you along the way or helped us along the way get to, where we are today. Well, I'll start with Andrew. Go ahead first, Andrew.
Monster Mac, obviously.
Of course.
He really opened up all the doors for me. Probably would have to say Magic, of course. Matt Tremont. They really helped. Like being a part of their locker room and getting their approval really helped. Of course, Sean Donovan has given me good advice over the years. That's who else? Anybody who's really given me any good advice. So many people. Rob and Billy. Titan or SWF. They really have given me some great places. Anybody who took the time and saw the value in Wrestling IQ 101. So whether that was doing stuff with Battle Club, Pro Wrestling Explosion, UWA Elite, so many different places. I don't want to miss anything. But even places that don't exist anymore for whatever their personal reasons were, I mean, they still thought of us and thought of some value in helping me and helping this podcast expand. And that's always what I wanted to do, was expand it. And that's why I never complained about really, giving up my weekends or doing what I had to do, go somewhere, because I knew it would be beneficial in the end. And it has. I mean, it's opened up so many doors for us. So
yeah, definitely.
A lot of people.
Anybody you want to shout out, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, Mac for sure. He was, our first, I guess, major guest. He's been a big friend for us. He opened up floodgates for us as far as getting people in, gave us so many recommendations, and everybody respects his suggestions. So that was, a huge connection for us to make. And, he was just like critical for us to kind of grow and expand and get to where we are today. We wouldn't be anywhere without him. And he gave us a lot of great suggestions and just in the business overall. He's just been a great, guide and mentor for all of us for this. So he's big time. There's no doubt about it. I think just Old Time Wrestling, they closed their doors down. They were our first.
I forgot about them. Yeah, they always.
Yeah, Jim Molyneux
shared all of our stuff, shouted us out.
They were the first, I guess, connections that we had with a company. So they were just giving us consistent interviews on a weekly basis and always shared everything, which was awesome. So those guys were great. And Jim Molyneux is the guy that ran the show over there. He was an ECW ref, so he had like a little bit of he had a name to himself, so that was pretty cool. And they had some other guys that did some higher level wrestling as well. So but those guys were great, and they would always share everything, and that was just our first major connection. So I think those guys were just awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, still for me, it's like definitely anybody who decided to put us on a show, to make us a sponsor, a vendor, anything. Chad always looking us out. He's been looking us out since WrestlePro days, trying to do something with Wrestling IQ 101. Rob Fury has given us a lot of opportunities. Billy Fesky has given us a lot of opportunities. Monster Mac has literally helped us get millions of interviews. Probably at least half of our content is because of Monster Mac and, our relationship with him. Just every Andrew Keller with GoPro Wrestling, he set me and Andrew up with GoPro and the event we did with them. Just literally just guys being just dope to us. Falaba, he always was a good dude to us. Sean Donovan, like you said, was always a good dude to us. It's like I don't want to forget nobody. It's like there's so many dudes that have helped us out. Even other podcasters, shout out to Bob Culture Podcast as well. I know he always shouts us out, shares our stuff. Shout out to Joey Railroads. He doesn't do podcasting anymore, but he supported us as well. Shout out to Joakim Noah and Joakim Noah.
Guys like
Joakim Morales and Battle Club Pro. I have a new relationship with him now. He's been looking out and trying to help me out with stuff as well. So you know what I mean? It's just a lot of guys out there, man. It's just a lot of support all around, and I definitely appreciate everybody for sure. So it wouldn't be nothing without you guys, man. Nothing at all without you guys.
Chad to mind, but Chad's really been he's been super helpful. I mean, I couldn't even. He made the boyhood dream come true.
Being with Virgil, right?
So reconnected me with my stepdad and my stepdads. So
oh my god.
So yeah, so And that's the craziest thing. I mean, just the smallest favor goes the longest way, and sometimes the smallest deed gives you the biggest results. So I never, try not to forget those people. But Delroy is somebody else I forgot. I
Oh
mean, he
yeah, for
really,
sure, for sure.
I remember how disappointed we were. I mean, it was kind of a
First guess.
Man, I know.
They got messed up, right?
yeah, it's kind of a blessing, right? And but and imagine where we would have been if and I remember I was telling you guys, I was like, I really want to start with if we can get somebody like Monster Mac.
Yeah.
And, I was like, that would really set the tone for this podcast, and it did. It really did. And from Larry Legend to Maria Manic to Deanna Prazo. I look at so many people that I've been able to talk to, and people I grew up, standing next to the Hit Squad was like, it was like so weird. I'll never forget being, if these little things don't humble you and make you appreciate how lucky you are, I don't know what will.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. All right, this is gonna be the last one that's gonna wrap it up for us. For Pat, this is gonna be who you would like to see, and for me and you, Andrew, is gonna be for who we want to get on the show. So this is people we want to get on in the future. This is fantasy booking here, and for Pat, this is people that you want to see us get on the show. Unless you decide to come back one day and you want to get people on the show too. Yeah. So who do you guys want to see on the show? Well, I'll start with Pat this time. Close it out with Pat.
Let's say. Here, you guys start.
You want to start?
Think about it.
First, I'll go. This is so tough, but there's so many people that are out there. I would like to get a lot of these people that like on like AEW or MLW. I think MLW is a great place. So like Myron Reed or I've talked to Alex Kane, who was a recent signee there. Jordan Oliver would be a good one. There's so many. The Sea Stars. I saw the Sea Stars at Battle Club Pro. I thought they were amazing. They're on AEW. So there's so many. That's my small list. I got a lot of. I have friends out there who think I have like these major connections, and they're like, when are you gonna get John Cena on the podcast? Yeah, I'm like, right? What the hell are you talking about? Get John Cena? It's like maybe in a couple of years. We'll see how big we get. But what about you, Drew? Who do you got in mind that you want to get on the show, or fantasy booking?
Marty Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty? That would be dope. I feel like didn't we reach out to him before?
Yeah,
I feel like we reached out to him before, right?
I just think, he'd just be like one of the coolest dudes to talk to. I just think he'd be like, or I recently got to talk to Ricky Morton and Robert Gibbs and rock and roll. So that'd be kind of cool. Or I think I could spar with Jim Cornette.
That'd be dope.
I wish he would do somebody's podcast, but I think I could spar with him and have a good conversation. So there's a lot of people I like to talk to still.
There's so many. It's like we've had so many. We're 200 episodes, and it's like there's still like millions of people that we haven't even talked to yet.
I think I'm just fortunate whoever comes down the line, so whoever it is, it's just, it's a great story to tell, and it's always good to listen. So
yeah. Oh man, what about Pat? What about you?
Yeah, I would say definitely someone from AEW. I mean, listen, if you can get Cody, then
that would be dope. I feel like we messaged Cody before too.
I mean, at least Brandon.
I feel like we messaged everybody. I don't know, Cody Rhodes. If you watching this somehow, you better answer email, bro.
That would be awesome if you get Cody. I think that would be like insane. He'll probably tell you some like really cool stories and just about the business.
Just having his dad, his brother.
Exactly.
That would probably.
I mean, hey, just get Ted DiBiase Jr.
That'd be dope too. I wouldn't be mad with that.
Just go with that, yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, he's not doing anything, right?
I don't think so. Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
There we go.
Well, man, this has been 200 episodes. Here's to 200 more episodes. Hopefully, we can get to that mark and keep going at the rate that we're going. And we got a lot of high quality stuff. And we've been, there's 200 episodes, and we've been, constantly putting things out weekly. So, that's an accomplishment in itself as well. Besides, the hiccup with COVID and everything. Besides that, we just been going. But hopefully it just keeps going, man. And let's do some shout outs. If fans want to connect with you on social media, we always say it to every other guest on the show. So Drew, if fans want to follow you on your personal and all that stuff, how are they connecting with you?
Just go to Wrestling IQ 101 on all platforms.
He's like, just don't follow me. Just go to Wrestling IQ 101.
Hit that add button and type in Wrestling IQ 101 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also listen to us wherever you get your podcast, and you can follow my personal Instagram at _Andrew19. So yeah, and make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss an episode like this. Check out the past episodes, or even check out the ones that are coming out in the future. So
facts. What about you, Pat? Fans want to connect with Pat. How are they connecting with us?
Sure, you can.
I'll give us an adult site.
His OnlyFans. What's your OnlyFans, bro?
You can connect with me at my Venmo. My Venmo is Patrick the Polish handle NAPOLITANO. I accept all currencies, so I'll be looking forward to that. Thank you guys.
Oh man.
My Twitter is Patman2216. So feel free to give me a shout out there if you don't want to send anything to my Venmo. Feel free to connect with me on Twitter. I got Instagram. I haven't been on there in years, so Twitter's the place to be. What about you, Derek?
That's it. Follow at Derek T Gamble. You can check me out on everything: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Make it simple on all of that. But definitely make sure you follow Wrestling IQ 101. Also follow Rap and Wrestle. That's my other show I do as well. But more importantly, follow Wrestling IQ 101. That's my home show, my show that even put me on a level to be able to go and start another show. I wouldn't be nothing without this show for sure. Follow at Wrestling IQ 101. Make sure you subscribe on all of our streaming platforms. Get them subscribers up, them likes, them comments, them shares, everything, please. And hey, if you want to buy merch, go to our TeePublic store as well. You can buy merch there. There's some designs of Wrestling IQ 101 there. And that's it, man. I don't know. That's it for this episode. Any closing words you guys got?
You want to go to the Olive Garden next week? I'm free.
Go there, tell them Andrew sent you, and use promo code WIQ 101, and then you should get 10% off of your Olive Garden meal.
So so if you guys want to go, I'm free. So
oh yeah, what? Oh, if we want to go,
yeah, you want to go. Yeah,
how you gonna threaten me with a good time, man? Of course, what are you talking about? Of course, I'm down with that. We're going to Olive Garden next week, so you'll see. We'll post pictures. How about that of Wrestling IQ 101 at Olive Garden next week.
Free Thursday, Pat.
I'm down with that.
This Thursday?
Yeah, free Thursday.
Free Thursday. We're not even gonna be here Thursday. Right? We'll be here next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Yeah,
next Thursday. Good.
Next Thursday. All right, we gotta make these plans. We gotta make these plans off air. We can't make plans for Olive Garden on air. No, man, this is how crazy the show is normally. But once again, fans, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for anybody who's done anything for us in this business. We truly appreciate it and we cherish it. I don't think you guys really understand how much it means to us and with everything that we have done. And once again, for this episode, it's Derek, it's Pat, it's Andrew, and all of us, we are out. Peace.